Ever wondered how to maximize your credit score? Well, you're in the right place. A credit score is a three-digit number that lenders use to assess how likely you are to repay your debts. It's like a grade for your financial responsibility. The higher the score, the more trustworthy you appear to potential lenders. Credit scores are calculated based on your credit history, which includes your borrowing, repayment, and outstanding debts. It's not just about paying your bills on time, but also how much you owe in relation to your income. Why is a credit score important, you ask? Well, it can significantly impact your financial life. A high credit score can give you access to better interest rates on loans and credit cards, and even influence your chances of securing a rental or a job. So, bear in mind, understanding the importance of your credit score is the first step towards improving it. So what determines your credit score? Let's delve into the factors. First up, we have payment history. This is a big one, folks. Essentially, it's all about whether you pay your bills on time. Every late payment can dent your credit score, while a history of timely payments can help it shine. So remember, punctuality isn't just polite, it's profitable. Next, let's talk about credit utilization. This is the ratio of your outstanding credit card balances to your credit card limits. The lower your credit utilization, the higher your score. So if you're maxing out your credit cards every month, you might want to rethink that strategy. It's like a seesaw. The lower your balance, the higher your credit score climbs. Now on to length of credit history. This factor considers how long your credit accounts have been open. Think of it like a friendship. The longer you've known someone, the better you understand them. Similarly, a longer credit history provides more information about your financial behavior and hence can contribute positively to your score. The fourth factor is credit mix. This refers to the different types of credit you have, such as credit cards, mortgages, car loans, and so on. Having a variety of credit types shows lenders that you can handle all sorts of credit responsibly. It's kind of like a well-balanced diet. You wouldn't eat just one type of food, right? The same principle applies to credit. Lastly, we have new credit. Applying for a lot of new credit in a short time can negatively impact your score. It's like going to a buffet and piling your plate too high. It might look good at first, but it can lead to a big mess. Knowing these factors can help you strategize on how to improve your credit score. Remember, it's not about perfection, but progression. Keep these factors in mind, and you'll be on your way to a healthier credit score. Now that we know what affects your score, how can you boost it? Well, let's dive into some strategies that can help elevate your credit score. To start, always make sure you're paying your bills on time. This might seem like a no-brainer, but it's worth emphasizing. Late or missed payments can negatively affect your credit score. So, set reminders for yourself, or better yet, automate your payments to ensure you never miss a due date. Next, let's talk about credit utilization. This is the percentage of your total available credit that you're currently using. The lower this number, the better it is for your credit score. So, try to keep your credit card balances as low as possible. If you need to make a large purchase, consider paying it off immediately to avoid a high credit utilization ratio. Then there's the length of your credit history. The longer you've been using credit responsibly, the more it can contribute to a higher score. So even if you've paid off a credit card, consider keeping the account open, especially if it's one of your older ones. Another important factor is the mix of credit types you have. Lenders like to see a mixture of revolving credit, like credit cards, and installment loans, like a mortgage or car loan. This shows that you can handle different types of credit responsibly. But remember, don't take on debt you can't afford just to diversify your credit mix. And last, but definitely not least, avoid applying for new credit too frequently. Each time you apply for credit, it results in a hard inquiry on your credit report, which can lower your score. So, apply for new credit sparingly. These strategies are key to improving your credit score, but patience is also essential as it doesn't happen overnight. Remember, building a good credit score is a marathon, not a sprint. So keep these strategies in mind, stick to them consistently, and over time you'll see your credit score start to climb. There are many myths about credit scores out there. Let's debunk some of them. Did you know that some people believe checking your credit score will lower it? This is a common misconception. In reality, checking your own credit score is considered a soft inquiry and does not affect your score. Hard inquiries made by lenders or credit card companies can have a minor impact. But your own personal checks? They're harmless. Another myth you might have heard is that you only have one credit score. This couldn't be further from the truth. There are actually 3 major credit bureaus: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, and each one generates its own credit score for you. These scores may vary slightly due to the different data each bureau has access to. So yes, you have more than one credit score, and it's important to keep tabs on all 3. A third myth that needs debunking is the idea that closing old credit cards will improve your score. It seems logical, right? Fewer cards, less potential debt. But in reality, closing old credit cards can actually hurt your credit score. This is because part of your score is based on the length of your credit history. An older credit card account shows a longer history of credit, which can be beneficial to your score. You might also have heard that carrying a small balance on your credit card can help your score. This is another misconception. Carrying a balance does not improve your credit score. In fact, high credit utilization, that is using a high percentage of your available credit, can negatively impact your score. Finally, let's bust the myth that your job and income affect your credit score. Your employment status and income do not directly factor into your credit score. However, they may affect your ability to repay debts, which can indirectly impact your score. By debunking these myths, we can have a clear understanding of how credit scores really work. Now that we've boosted our score, how do we keep it up? You may wonder. Well, maintaining a good credit score is just as important as building one. Here are some tips to help you stay on top of your credit game. First and foremost, keep an eye on your credit report. It's like a financial report card that tracks all your credit activities. By regularly monitoring your credit report, you can catch any errors or fraudulent activities early before they dent your score. Many credit card issuers and financial institutions offer free credit report services, so take advantage of those. Secondly, don't be too quick to close old credit accounts, even if you're not using them. This might sound counterintuitive, but remember that length of credit history plays a significant role in your credit score. An older account, even less active, can contribute to a higher score by increasing the average age of your credit accounts. Next, limit hard inquiries on your credit report. Each time you apply for a new line of credit, a hard inquiry is recorded on your report. Too many hard inquiries in a short period can signal to lenders that you're a high-risk borrower, and this can lower your score. So plan your credit applications wisely and space them out. Moreover, always aim to pay your bills on time. Yes, even that small utility bill you've been ignoring. Late or missed payments can negatively impact your credit score. To avoid this, consider setting up automatic payments or reminders so you never miss a due date. Lastly, maintain a low credit utilization ratio. This is the percentage of your total available credit that you're using. A lower ratio is better, as it shows you're not overly reliant on credit. Following these tips will not only help you maintain a good credit score, but also avoid any potential pitfalls. Remember, a good credit score can open doors to better financial opportunities, so it's worth the effort to keep it in top shape. Let's quickly recap what we've learned today. We started with understanding what credit scores are. They're numerical representations of our credit worthiness, used by lenders to evaluate risk. Then, we explored the factors that affect these scores, such as payment history, credit utilization, and the length of credit history. We moved on to strategies you can employ to boost your score. These include timely bill payments, keeping credit balances low, and not closing old credit cards. We also debunked some common myths, like the belief that checking your score will hurt it. It won't, by the way. Lastly, we shared some tips to maintain a good score. Prioritizing on-time payments, keeping your credit utilization low, and regularly checking your credit report for errors are all key. Remember, a good credit score is not a sprint, but a marathon. Keep these points in mind and you're on your way to financial fitness.